Hello, stinkers. How are you doing? Welcome to Monday. I hope you're all well. I have spent all day doing my sewing and watching Buffy because it's been a really busy couple of weeks. This week unexpectedly got busier, and I just thought I've earned a day off. So me, Tom, and Mac have spent all day sitting on the sofa watching Buffy. Mackie scared the crap out of me because she just refused to eat all day, but now she suddenly got her appetite this evening and started eating again. She's a nightmare. And yesterday I hurt my finger. It's an annoying injury though because it really hurts, but it doesn't look hurt. It's not even swollen, is it? Not bruised either, but it really hurts. I was like putting dog poo in one of those bins with the big flappy lids, like the street bins, and then I sort of jammed my finger, like crushed it down. And I feel like hurting yourself putting dog poo in a bin is like 2020 completely summed up. So yeah, I've hurt my finger with a poo accident. Very sad. But yes, I've had a lovely day. I've just sat and done nothing. It's been really nice. I had takeaway for breakfast. How great is that? We had absolutely no food in the house at all. So I ordered a bagel and they delivered it to my house and then I ate it and it was delicious. And I ordered extra hash browns to go with my bagel and then I put them inside the bagel. Delicious. And then we took Mackie for a walk and bought stuff for lunch. And Tom is currently making me dinner right now, which is, I realise having dinner at 10 o'clock is not really the work of an adult, is it? Unless you live on the continent, but I don't. But hey ho, that's been done. On the note of this week having gotten accidentally busier, Wednesday is going to have to be a pre-record, unfortunately, because I've just picked up a gig in Bristol. So if you're in Bristol, you're very welcome to come. I don't know where it is. This isn't helpful, but I'll find a link and tweet it for any Bristol viewers. And on Sunday, I'm gigging in Brighton. I'm also gigging in Farnham in the afternoon. I realise these are very South-orientated and UK-orientated. Sorry, everybody else. But yes, I'm doing those. And I now have copies of my book. Hooray! I ordered a load online, so I now have copies. So if you don't have a copy / you want it signed, you can send it to me. Also, my agent is forwarding me cover pieces and books to sign. So if you're that way inclined and would like a signature on your book, if you send them to Andrew Roach Talent, he has a website, Art Management, they can send them on to me. I feel weird saying this because I don't understand why anybody would want me to write my name in their book, but it is a thing that's happening, so happy to do it. What's people saying? Late dinner will keep you awake long for more Buffy. Yeah, that would be really good. I've done loads of my sewing today as well. I have such losery habits, but honestly, I've just sat and done my cross stitch and sort of faffed about with Mackie and oh, it's been really, really nice. Can I sign it with a Mexican accent? I will buy a Mexican pen just for you, Shane, because technically the pen is the one with the accent. So yes, John's also making dinner at 11. Yes, mate, look at us having dinner late. The chapter's fun today, I think. I'm quite excited about having 4 to do in a week because I feel like I'll really keep on it and ideas will churn because I'm writing most days. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to give you your question because, possibly the biggest ramifications. There are 3 options in the question today and 2 out of 3 of them result in a death. Mystic says, has Mackie pissed anywhere she shouldn't have today? No, she's been really good today. She's been great. Yeah, no accidents at all today, which has been wonderful. So well done her. But yeah, 2 out of 3 of your options will result in someone dying. Did I decide who the die? Yeah. It's a different person for each of the 2, and then there's one that results in a really good option. Well, I think you'll like it anyway. So let's see if you find that one. Exciting. Lady Frag is scared. Don't be scared, Claire. It's fun. I mean, it's not fun for the people that will die, but I feel like you guys need to feel your responsibility. Hi, Catherine. Don't worry. Never, ever apologise for missing one. You guys have lives. Why are we doing this? Because it's nonsense, isn't it? Say hello, you pissy little bitch. That's fun, isn't it? Is it the guard? No, it's not the guard. It's a named character. two of the three options will kill a different named character. So, you guys. I mean, I don't normally write the questions hoping that you'll choose one. I always try and make them equally as interesting for me so that whatever you vote, I'm like, oh, fun, okay, I'll write that. But on this one, I was like, I'm gonna fuck about with it a bit. And I really hope you find the positive one because I don't want to kill off these people. But I do not know. Not Mavis. You want Mavis to survive, do you? Well, you best vote properly then. Right, we should read the chapter, shouldn't we? So you find out what you're voting about. So where we left it last week was Marine was getting used to having the stone, and she'd looked at the auras, and she felt like Asmar was a mole. And then you voted on what was going to happen next, and it was quite a landslide. So with that, chapter 18. Marine felt oddly calm standing there in the near pitch blackness of the cavern. The light was grainy and grey, making it feel difficult to focus on things with her eyes. She felt energized, though, as though the stone was giving her an extra layer of perception. She gazed at the sleeping Asmar with her unusual, bubbling, distrustworthy aura around her. Marine didn't know if she'd be able to put into words how she knew what this aura meant, but her confidence was complete. Ideally, she could take a few hours to sit and examine the stone and explore what she could now do with it in her pocket and boosting her abilities. But she knew that with Asmar against them, the cavern was now compromised and they needed to get out of there before Vanweer arrived. It occurred to Marine that it was odd Vanweer or her soldiers weren't already here if Asmar was working with her. Marine crunched across the loose soil of the cavern, avoiding the scattering of dried leaves here and there that threatened to bristle underfoot and wake everyone. She arrived at Ezria's side and placed a hand on her shoulder. Ezria woke immediately, a hand springing out and grabbing Marine's wrist to control it. Marine flinched but didn't startle loudly, and she locked eyes with her captain to tell her all was okay. Ezria released Marine's wrist and looked around at the other sleeping Tingians before silently standing and leading Marine away from the group. They headed out together down one of the tiny routes of the cavern and towards the city. Neither said a word as they walked, not wanting to be heard from either direction. They made it out the other side of the tunnel and sat for a moment, enjoying the slightly less fetid air of the more open pathways. I went back to the lab, Marine blurted, unable to keep the news in any longer. Ezria's eyes widened in surprise. Alone? She asked, gobsmacked. Marine nodded, finally feeling worthy of the expectations Ezria had of her. Yes, I went alone. I realized how I could hold on to my invisibility and control it better. I took the risk. And what a risk, whistled Ezria. Was the stone still there? It was, Marine grinned. But it isn't anymore. Vanweer took it? Did you learn where it went? Ezria asked urgently. It's here, Marine said, lifting the stone out of her pocket and offering it to Ezria on her open palm. Ezria visibly paled in the light from the glow lamps. She shied away from the stone. Marine stretched her arm out further, offering it more confidently. Go on, it won't hurt you. But Ezria took a step back, pressing herself into the earth. No, I mustn't. How? I touched it, and I felt this crazy sensation, said Marine, wishing she had a suitable vocabulary for the life she was currently leading. It felt like I was too big inside my skin, and my body was too full of energy, and then I felt like it was too much, but I didn't want it to be. And so I don't know, I concentrated on being better, on being in control of the stone, and then it shrank, and I took it. I was still invisible, and the stone went invisible with me. How do you feel now? Ezria asked cautiously. I feel calm. Marine found herself being utterly honest and at ease with both the question and the answer. I feel like the stone is focusing these magics I've always been afraid of inside myself. I used it to impersonate Mavis on the way out of the lab. I didn't know I could do that, and I don't know how I did it other than to just concentrate and just trust it would happen. It's fascinating. Ezria's voice was quiet, a long way away somehow. Yes, Marine was nodding enthusiastically. But there's more. When I came back into the cavern, I looked at you all. Marine stopped, realizing how creepy that sounded. I was sort of looking at who you all are, though, rather than looking at you physically. Does that make sense? No, obviously it doesn't. But is Mackie trying to. Bear with me. I know this is going to kill the tension. I think Mackie's trying to climb the ladder into the roof. Oh, no, she's just destroying a tea towel on the landing. Oh, we're trying so hard to stop this dog coming up the stairs, but she's not doing it. Sorry, dudes. Mac Attack is downstairs, but she's fine. Catherine Macarac, I call her Mac Attack all the time. She's got so many nicknames, obviously. Mac Attack, Macklin Wilson, I call her a lot. And then that leads me to singing, we'll name her Mackie Ann Wilson. What else have I been singing to her? I've also been singing... because you're Mackie Wagalong if you feel like the best dog in the world. Because you're Mackie Wagalong if you feel... Kill me now, I'm that dog person. Anyway, there was tension, wasn't there? We were doing a story. We just go back to Mackie Wilson. We'll name her Mackie Ann Wilson, raise her on dog food and poos. We're not raising her on poos, but she does a lot of poos, basically. But there's more. When I came back into the cavern, I looked at you all. Marine stopped, realizing how creepy that sounded. I was sort of looking at who you all are, though, rather than looking at you physically. Does that make sense? No, obviously it doesn't. But you all had these peaceful auras. You all felt trustworthy, except Asma. And I think you're right about there being a mole. And I think it's Asma. Ezria was silent for a moment. She took half a step forward and opened her mouth and then shook her head, looking down at her shoes. Esmar, she whispered. Are you sure? Marine shook her head. No, not at all. I mean, it could be anything. But where you felt like water and cucumber root and other calm things, and all your waves were running in the same direction, Esma felt fiery and conflicted and sour. It could mean anything. I have no idea what these magics are doing. I just know she was different. Something was wrong. This is a blow, said Ezria. It might not mean, began Marine, but Ezria cut her off. We both know what it means. They were interrupted by the sound of scuffling from within the cavern. Marine thought she heard half a shout. There were dull thumps. She stared at Ezria. What is that? I don't know, called Ezria, already running. But we need to get back in. But we need to get back in there. Do 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 do. Meh meh meh. Meh 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 meh. Meh 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 meh. I feel like that's another tradition we need to add to the end of each chapter from now on. Boom! So, your question is, what is in the cavern? What are the noises that they're running towards? Your straight up choice is an animal, Vanweer's troops, or strangers. Those are your three options. Two of them lead to a death that I don't think you'll be pleased with. But what is in the cavern? An animal, Vanweer's troops, or strangers? Choose wisely, my stinky, stinky fans. It's up to you. Who will die? Or maybe no one will die. I'll tell you. Okay, no, I'm not going to tell you that bit. But 2 are deaths and 1 is a positive. Up to you. So, oh, I like that mystic. Alexander Ramilton. My name is Alexander Ramilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait. Just you wait. I've lost it. I'm really hungry. And I can smell my dinner. So I'm going to go and have that. You guys are going to get voting. You need to vote quickly as you can, because I am writing tomorrow. And we're back tomorrow, 10 o'clock. See you tomorrow. Have fun. Bye.